5. Pressure tight, we never slide. DJ calling routes, Cook holding down the line. Harris in the backfield, reading all the signs. Throne running deep, got that Razorback pride. Film on the screen, we break it down clean. Talk real ball, no script, no green screen. From the hill to the dome, we ride for the team. Red blood, white cleats, and a hog in a dream. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, film on the screen, we break it down clean. Talk real ball, no script, no green screen. From the hill to the dome, we ride for the team. Red blood, white cleats, and a hog in a dream.
All right, here we go. Wednesday morning here on 4th and 5. And boy, do we got a show lined up for you today. Not gonna lie, y'all, I'm starting to get frustrated. A little frustrated with what's going on in college sports. Talk about that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's on the playbook. Really starts with stuff like this. We're recruiting professional players nowadays to go play college sports. Pretty wild. We're going to tell you what the head coach over there at LSU has going on. And apparently the money issue is solved and it is on the way. Comments from Hunter Yurachek while down in Frisco. And how much of all this is going to lay up on Coach Ryan Silverfield in year one when it comes to that money. And speaking of that money, back up that Brinks truck because more money means more of these college kids get paid. Welcome in everybody to 4th and 5, the Morning Huddle. I'm DJ Williams. That's Josh Throne. And we got Grant Cook in the house. Grant, welcome back, man. We missed you, man. How you been?
Good. Had to knock a few things out for work. But
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
Back in saddle.
You were in Chicago? Is that right?
Yep.
Chi-Town, holding it down. Josh, how we doing this morning?
Good to see you boys up and ready for the show.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
I mean, I'm telling you, we could have a show of our own if y'all could see what happens backstage of Josh trying to get ready for this show. Grant, you couldn't see it because I don't think you see
I can't
all.
see.
Yeah,
No.
all I see is a camera shaking like this, like it's on a run in a Jurassic Park movie. It's like, what is happening over there? And then I've been in your house running upstairs, but hey, it did help so I could get your shot in. All right, so welcome in everybody. It's gonna be a great show. Hey, first to the chat this morning here on our stream and on YouTube, Jim Gum. So let's go ahead and give Jim a mark. And once again, first to 5. When it comes to saying the good morning first in the chat, we will give you an award. Razorback already has 2 in round 2 of this. He sent me a message on Facebook yesterday, Grant, and he said this is tough for him. This is tough for him because
He's a competitor.
because he said, it's not tough being number 1. It's tough because I said, how about you take a day or 2 off just to make sure that this is, we're going about this the right way.
That's what I'm saying.
And so-
He's a competitor. He's like,
Yeah.
I can't. I mean,
Well, he took a day off and then he sent me a message and he says, DJ, this is hard for me, man, because like I want to be number 1. And so he told me yesterday he was going to wait a second to give someone a chance, but he doesn't know how long this is going to last. All right. So y'all
right.
get your points in. Jim Gum, good morning. Razorback Pride right in at number 2. Now I will say Jim Gum in fairly early, 18 seconds into the show. Darren Hood, good morning. I'm sure you're at the gym or just finishing up. We got Legend 86. Ebony is up this morning. She's in Jonesboro. This morning, holding it down there in good old Jonesboro. She always tries to get first in, never can make it. Dennis Mitchell, good morning. Chris Caver is in the house. We got R. Pope. We got RB Bryant up with us this morning. Miss Donna, good morning. Michael Pope. Walter Barnes, what's going on, man? How's everybody doing? I'll get through some more of those messages here in just a second. All right, let's get it. You see Razorback Pride's comment. It's killing him. It's killing him. Not seeing his name up there first every single time. Big time show, fellas. And I'll say the tone of this, the more and more this stuff just pops up, as much as I am a fan of college sports, it's tough nowadays, y'all. It is tough.
Wild West.
It's the Wild West, and I don't like it. I know you have to adjust it. I'm not trying to be old man on the porch, but it's just, I was on a phone call yesterday. I don't even know. There was apparently there's some stuff going down in Washington right now, and sports is a big part of it. All right, we're going to talk about something that happened yesterday as far as something getting passed or some revisions to a bill that the NAACP are asking athletes, black athletes, to not go to specific schools in the SEC. We're going to dig into that a little bit. We're not going to try to get political, but I hate that they're dragging college sports into this political landscape for leverage. And it's just getting to a point to where you almost need Congress and stuff to kind of step in. It's just, at what point is it too much? We're going to talk about that. Also, Hunter Yurachek, as I alluded to earlier, was down at the All-In tour when Ryan Silverfield was making his trips. They were in Frisco at the Star, I believe, in Dallas. And then a pit stop there, he let us know that we're soon going to figure out what the name of Razorback Stadium is going to be. Naming rights are up. That's going to be a big chunk of money, apparently. And then some reported new TV deals. Learfield, that's who kind of runs all the media rights right now for the University of Arkansas. Those are the people that call me if I somehow forget to block out a Razorback logo on any of our graphics. And if I miss one, I usually get a phone call. So Learfield owns the media rights to all things when it comes to Arkansas. Hence why we used to be, when I was at TV, Razorback Nation. You remember that back in the day? And then everybody's like, why'd you change your name to Pig Trail Nation? Well, Learfield came over, and they were asking for a big chunk of money for that show to be called Razorback Nation. And so instead of paying, I don't know, $300,000 a year just to call it Razorback Nation, they said, let's change that name to Pig Trail Nation.
So beforehand, everything was playing nice. When they inked that deal with that new management company, they started kind of enforcing it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I mean, and they started going around and figuring out what are all these brand things that we have at the University of Arkansas that we want to keep our own and people can't monitor. I mean, like if a mom and pop store, they opened up. We had a friend who opened up something, and she wanted like little Razorback cutouts of specific things, and she posted about it on social media, saying, "Hey, in Fayetteville, very excited." She gets a phone call. You can't use our stadium in the background. That's our bit. So stuff like that. That's what they're in control of. And so apparently the Learfield deal may be coming to its end, and they're going to partner with somebody else. That's going to bring a lot of money to the table, especially when it comes to the athletic department and how they're going to spend that money. So there's a big gap. This will help close that gap. We'll talk about that. But first, let's get into these other areas that are just driving me wild when it comes to college sports. And Josh sent me something yesterday. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
The contribution. I'm not
glad it was received well.
Yeah, it was received well. It was already in the show, but I just elected to say,
You were so close. So close.
I couldn't let it go.
A little bit of.
That was good, though. But before that, a big shout out to our friends at Parlay on 8th. They are a sponsor for In Case You Missed It. And there is a baseball game today. I believe first pitch is at 4 or 4:30 down in Hoover. Arkansas is their first game in the SEC tournament. They were going to play the winner between South Carolina and Tennessee. I don't know who won that game. Somebody in the chat, let me know who Arkansas is playing today at 4. If you need a place to go watch that game, head on up to Bentonville. Parlay on 8th in the 8th Street Market. They got all the TVs, lounges, shuffleboard, great food, good drinks, the whole shebang. Once again, if you need more information about Parlay on 8th, that is, just head to parlayon8th.com. All right, y'all, here we go. In case you missed it, we talked about coaches recruiting out of the NBA. It's happening again. We thought we were done with this with the Alabama case last year with Bidiaco. But here we are again. And Josh, did you read this or did you just send it to me?
Oh, I just sent you guys. I mean, I read briefly about R.J. Lewis is what I was reading more so about.
R.J. Lewis, the player at hand here today. He was the Big 12 Player of the Year. Let me make sure I'm getting the right conference. Here we go. Big East Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Under Rick Pitino 2 seasons ago.
When we played St. John's in the tournament, I think we played St. John's the tournament. He was the one we had to shut down.
Got you. Okay. So
yeah, he didn't have a good game against us, but he was electric all year.
Really good basketball player. Good enough to dabble in the NBA. Now he went undrafted. This was last June, but he signed a 2-way deal with the Utah Jazz before getting traded to the Boston Celtics. You can actually see him on the NBA court in warm-ups with the Celtics jersey on the team.
All right. He's on the team.
Spent last season the whole year in the G League, and back during the combine when they're asking if he's going to come back or go to the NBA, he's kind of backtracking his words. At the time, he says it's more than just about money, because he was talking about not going back to St. John's or hopping into the portal. He was extremely confident when he told CBS that at the time, the 2025 NBA Draft Combine. He says, say I go back to college. I get a large amount of money, but then what? I'm going to be 1 year older, still going to have to do the process again. It's more about finding the right time to go into this, and I think this is my moment. They should. Wild, right? Well, he went and trusted his gut, and then he was like, dang it, why didn't I go get that money while I could? This is a little bit harder than I expected. Anyway, getting into this, now he is trying to get another year of eligibility, because right now, as it sits today, Will Wade has a commitment to the University of Louisiana, Louisiana State University, to play for his basketball team right now, and he is not eligible to even play college sports.
Oh, okay.
Interesting take. All right, so you know what Will Wade did? He says, I'm going to bring this guy here anyway, and I'm going to double down. I don't know if you saw this. He got another professional player, another one. All right, he's got two. He says, I don't care. The other guy's name, as I bring this in, it is Salou Niang. He committed to the Tigers yesterday. This was yesterday afternoon. At 6'4", 22 years old. He was pursued by North Carolina as well. So what's the difference? Because this guy was actually drafted in the second round. He's going to be a Tiger next year. All right.
Listen, man, this is what I think we need to do. We need Coach Cal to use his connections. We need Anthony Davis and Shea Gildress-Alexander back on the team.
Bring him back.
Come be Hogs for one more year. Let's go win this natty and head out.
Well, the pursuit for the St. John's kid is the 5-for-5 thing that's being pushed, and there's still a window of eligibility to get in before that thing becomes a thing. All right. However, I don't see him working out. Why is that? There's a distinct difference between the two, and you may be asking, well, how is this different than the guy at Alabama who came back and then eventually was not allowed to play? The moment that they sign a contract, so this kid that they're bringing over, the Salou Niang guy, he got drafted in the second round, but he never signed a contract. The team that drafted him, I think it was the Cavs, they just kept his rights. They call it a draft and stash. They can keep the rights to the player and stash them away, but not sign them to a contract. Now, where the other guy messed up.
He's just straight up pedestrian out there playing basketball. He's not an employee.
Well, that's like what the girl from the Chicago Sky is doing, right?
Exactly
Same
right.
thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
he played for the Jazz. He played for the Celtics.
No. This is professional basketball player number 2.
This is basketball player number 2. All right. They're building a whole team full of professional players. All right.
Yeah.
The difference between basketball player number 1 and the guy over there at Alabama compared to this guy, who I think is actually going to play, is he never signed a contract or a two-way deal. The NCAA does have a provision in there when it talks about these players having the ability to test the waters, but the moment they sign that two-way deal, they become ineligible to play college sports. So that's what the first guy did, but not the second guy. So he's just been playing, even though he got drafted, never signed a contract. But, I mean, it's just I was on – did I say this already? I was on the phone yesterday for about an hour with these people from Washington. They were asking about what's going down in Washington. They were trying to get a clear picture. I believe they are lobbyists up there trying to get the SCORE Act pushed forward. That's what got killed yesterday. But the thing about bills, they get killed all the time and they can come right on back. Okay. But they want some more people to go to bat for this thing to let Washington and Congress have a little bit more push when it comes to letting the NCAA not have to deal with this anymore. But once again, it is what it is. Just in case you missed it, LSU currently trying to build a roster of professional players. Speaking of Washington, I don't know if y'all saw this. Politics just taking over sports. This was big yesterday as well. Now, the traction on this, I don't see this happening, but it is being asked. The NAACP is asking They want the NIL funding pulled from all but 5 SEC schools from their athletic program and public universities. And they think the biggest push for this is to reach out to black athletes that attend these schools and ask them to boycott these schools. Now, do I see that happening? Sorry, Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been in the weeds with this when it comes to understanding the impact, how big this is. This is in response to provisions that were made from the Voting Rights Act, I believe, of 1965. The biggest issue of this being, apparently in Washington, they're going to start allowing gerrymandering, and that is when you're allowed to change zonings and district maps. And when it comes to people voting, that was put in place a long time ago because they felt like the districts that a lot of black voters were voting in didn't have a big impact. So they would rezone these maps and allow them to have a bigger voice and bigger representation. Apparently now that is going back to the way that it was. So that's their biggest point with that. But that's the whole political side. Getting to the college sports side, do you think asking these black athletes, and I said all but 5 SEC schools, Arkansas is not one of these, okay?
One they want to keep NIL with?
Dang, did I reprint that? No, Arkansas is not on this list. They are only targeting the states that have this law that is going to be going into effect. Arkansas is not on it. So they said, Arkansas, y'all just keep doing what you're doing. This isn't us coming at you. They are more interested. I'm trying to get to the schools. These schools impacted would be, God, I printed 2 sheets of paper off this morning, and I cannot find those schools. Dadgummit, where are they at? Oh, here we go. University of Alabama. You got Georgia, Florida, LSU, Mississippi State, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Texas A&M. They are asking players that attend those schools not to play sports at those schools. Now,
y'all come on over here.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you.
I don't see this happening, and I'm not trying to downplay anything, but there's too much money involved in asking these kids to boycott these schools, and they potentially are making about $800,000 to play sports at that school.
Well, and here's the other thing is like, the organization, maybe I understand them trying to make a push and using that's probably that's a strong word, but probably the right word. They're using the players to
100%
as pawns in the game,
political pawns,
right?
100%.
And so, I think what would maybe affect me the most in this is like, well, what if A&M or Mississippi State, Ole Miss, whatever, is the right place for this person to be, and you're telling them, hey, do not go there.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this is this is where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
But like, no, you can't go there anymore. And it's like, well, is that really the best for? And I get maybe they're thinking about like the needs of the many outweigh those of the few.
Yeah.
Right. But I think you got to think about it. I don't know, better than that.
Yeah.
It seems like it's not fully thought through.
They were also asking these athletes, instead of going to these SEC schools, to maybe redirect their support to HBCUs instead. And I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. All right.
Going to A&M and going to Jackson State is not the same exposure,
Or, have you seen those facilities at these big time SEC schools? Could you imagine
they're crazy
being brought up in that and then going?
Could you imagine going 2 years to like A&M, Arkansas, somewhere like that, and then hopping over to Jackson State or Grambling? It's like, woo, all right.
Not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying.
No, I'm sure it happens all the time for transfers, right? That want to transfer out and get like more playing time at a smaller division.
Yeah.
But it'd be the same thing. It's kind of like coaching, like if you're a GA at a major school and then your first real job is at like a lower tier school that just doesn't have the same budget.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with those schools. Like those schools are fine schools. They just don't have the same budget as the big schools that you're used to playing at. And I always think about that. It's like, why didn't you get into coaching? It's like, well, I kind of thought about getting into coaching, but then it's like, I didn't want to like go to an SEC school, know what that was like, and then probably GA at an SEC school. And then your first like actual job is at a school that you have no like connection to in the sense of what you're used to having access to.
Yeah.
And having to reset the thought process, I guess.
I mean, one of the toughest things for me, this is going to sound super, they didn't have my order at Starbucks done right the right way. It's going to sound a lot like that. But you know how hard it was to travel, like just going through the airport and go through an airline after playing in the NFL? It's tough, man. Even in college.
Whoa.
You know how we traveled in college? Direct access, you don't go through all this, straight to the plane, drinks, food, everything ready. NFL, it's up to a whole different level, first class everywhere. I mean, I flew in the NFL. I was in one of those, where you had a bed in your thing. I was just like, this is awesome.
You had a little pod.
Yeah, it's awesome. God, it's tough going through TSA nowadays. Anyway.
Worst comes to worst in the NFL. You at least had an entire row of 3 seats to yourself.
That's the absolute worst. That is as bad as it'll get. Yeah. Anyway,
So, I'm wanting to wrap my head around this topic.
yeah.
The NAACP is asking
Yeah.
for players to just get on board with the movement, boycott some of these schools that are in states that have these redistricting political
Yep.
maps. And they want to do that because that will affect the money that they make and in those states, and put a little bit of political financial pressure on the congressmen, the senators from those states to vote on this a certain way in order to make sure that they get fair maps. Is that what I'm saying?
They want the voting rights that have been in place since 1965 to stay the same. The bill, the way that it was structured when it first happened, and they want it to stay the same. All right. So it is called the political pressure campaign. It's called Out of Bounds. That's what they're calling it. And they're hoping some players can get on board. I don't see that happening, but I guess we'll have to sit back and see what happens on that one. We'll keep you updated.
For a minute, I thought that like it was kind of like, hey, let's start focusing on our HBCUs. Let's keep our top talent at HBCUs and let's grow these programs.
That's not what it's about. No,
that's not what it's about.
That was not what it's about. It was trying to take away from other programs to put pressures on these states because, as wild as it sounds, people love their football. All right. And if you start messing with one of their schools, it'd be whoa. I mean, we've already seen judges get involved with cases to make sure that their players play for the Crimson Tide in a basketball court. All right. So they'll go out of their way to take care of their home state schools. All right. Another one coming up. Speaking of more money, we got an inside person, y'all. I'm excited about this. Y'all ready to be disgusted? Or I mean, great. I'm happy for these kids out here. Sorry, I didn't mean to say disgusted. Apparently, we found an inside guy who apparently has the backtrack on some of these deals in NIL that these players are getting paid. So, Arkansas fans, you want to know what it takes to be competitive, to have some of the best players in the country. I'm going to tell you what that price tag looks like. All right. NIL. Now, the guy did say that in this business, when it comes to these, a lot of these are assumptions, but the guy who's undercover right now has a lot of links and ties to agents, media reports, people within the transfer portal, player performance personnel, all of these stuffs when it comes to leaks from agents. This is who this person is. We don't know. All right. But they gave us an idea. They think it's a guy named Noah Henderson. That's who they believe it is. All right. He's an analyst, an NIL analyst, but they can't officially tie it to this guy. But it looks like all clues point to him. So anyway, this came out and talking about some of the highest paid quarterbacks. Y'all ready to see what it takes to be competitive? A team that went to the national championship last year. This is hard to believe. Okay, so they lost Carson Beck, Miami, right? They had to get someone else. Because I know when we all heard about Brendan Sorsby, who is going to play or not, we're not sure, depending on I think somebody said yesterday the injunction happened, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to play.
He's always going to be able to play. We knew the recipe.
He had the estimated $6.8 million deal with Texas Tech for 1 year. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's chump change. All right. So Miami, Miami said, we need a guy because we got the recipe. We got these players in place. This is our window. Darian Mensah, hopefully I'm saying that right. The new quarterback for Miami Hurricanes, estimated NIL deal worth $10 million.
Is he from Duke?
Is that who that is? Does that sound about right? 10?
Darian Mensah?
Noah a lot. RB Bryant. That's good over there.
$10 million.
Let's go, baby.
To play college.
This is where we are.
For 1 year?
Hey,
is this a 1 year deal?
I believe so. I think most of these are 1 year deals unless they have structured them differently, which I'm assuming they're starting to do nowadays, right? And so, I get it. Miami, they go to the national championship. They got a lot of returning players, momentum going in the right direction. Winning does what to a fan base? It gets them excited. It gets them pumped up. It gets them to want to donate more. You saw all that money on the sideline at Miami. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Michael Irvin. Coach, what you need? We got to get back. Hell, if you asked Michael Irvin that night for $10 million, depending on what he was on, he'd probably just write you a check. All right. Darian
Mensah.
Yeah.
He went to Tulane for 2 years, transferred to Duke last year, 2025. Yeah. So 25 season. And then it shows in here, Miami 2026 to present. That's
hard to believe, right? I see Legend in the chat getting paid more than NFL players. It's wild,
it's
right?
Crazy.
It unbelievable.
You got programs right now, $50+ million that we kind of know about, or that's rumored, but who knows really if $10 million is going to the quarterback off the top. It could get over $50 million if we really had all the numbers. Yeah. Then you got to think about with the NCAA in shambles, with everybody coming back for 5, 6, 7 year eligibility type claims. You're going to have college quarterbacks now, and you already do, who would rather stay in college because they're playing on primetime television, and they're making $10 million in a season. That's more than what you'd make if you go try to play on one of the best 32 teams in American football. But we're about to get to the point where if this continues and Congress doesn't get something changed, where it would make more sense for you to play in college over and over and over, you just keep these lawsuits up. If the NCAA can't get a hold of this and stay the NCAA, it's about to turn to just a different professional league where Arkansas, you've wanted your NFL team for a long time. We might have it before too long.
So getting into the conversation I had with these people from Washington yesterday, putting regulations on it, obviously it comes down to what's stopping a Frank Fletcher from paying whatever Arkansas quarterback whatever he wants. And he says, I'm going to partner with this guy. He's going to be the brand ambassador for my car dealership, and I value that at who's going to tell me what I can't value that at.
Exactly. It's a fair market. He can spend as much money as he wants, and he can say that it's for X, Y, and Z for his businesses.
So all the stuff happening in Washington right now would try to stop that, of then having the clearinghouse come in and then tell Frank Fletcher, this is actually fair market value. You can only offer him this much money. So that's the biggest issue right now with putting something, what's this, a cap on this thing. That's the biggest issue, what people are struggling with.
But I don't think you can do it. I don't know, man. This is, again, because everything's going to get tied up in court as soon as something happens. That's exactly what's going to happen, right? It's what's happened every time. Oh, I'm going to court. You can't tell me how much I can't pay.
Well, that's why they have to make it federal law and get it passed. That's the only way around it. That's why they're putting all their eggs in that basket.
That's the biggest thing with this bill, because if this bill gets passed, it'll exempt the NCAA from worrying about these antitrust laws, and they don't have to worry about that anymore. It says, what do y'all want? Right. This is how it's done. So that's why it's so big in Washington for that thing to go through. If 100%. You want college football to look the way that it potentially used to look, okay? But if you're somebody like Miami, you're like, hell no. Yeah, we don't want to change anything. We got the money. Let's just keep it rolling. All right. So anyway,
of course.
The quarterback from Miami alleged $10 million. Let's go next up. Let's head out to Dan Lanning over there with Oregon. Okay. Let's head out to Oregon with Dan Lanning. Said that backwards. Estimated NIL deal for Dante Moore, the starting quarterback, $7.5 million. All right. Think about Oregon, though. Patrick Mahomes 2.0 from Nebraska, Dylan Raiola. He transferred to Oregon to be a backup. You know how much his NIL deal is worth? It's worth $1.5 million to sit on the bench. God, what are we doing? Arch Manning comes in 6.8. We all know about him. It's just getting out of hand. And then they kind of go school by school. They talk about what the potential average offensive lineman is earning. You got top earners around $600,000 per year just for the O-line. And then you get into the receivers, the running back. So that's what schools are paying. All right.
Well, DJ, you've always said that you wish if everybody just puts their numbers out there, it's better. Like the NFL, where you know what everybody's making on their contracts. Well, the NCAA, or I'm sorry, maybe the universities, not the NCAA, they're trying not to do that. They're actually like when people are putting in these public record requests for how much money are the schools giving, say a player out of their losing my words here. What is it? The fund that they allow players to get paid, the $20.5 million
revenue share.
Revenue share. Yeah, they're putting in public records requests for all right, we want to know out of that revenue share, what did these players get paid? And the universities are trying to block some of that because, of course, that's just going to drive up, the cost for all of us. So they're still, kind of just trying to control the situation so there's not transparency, because when there's not transparency, you can't get mad as a tight end at Arkansas because you don't really know what the other tight ends get making. But if they find out, oh, well, this guy over here, he had less production than me, he's making $5 million, I need $6 million. They don't want that to start happening.
Tell you, does this sound nice? If you're a player at Oregon, what is there, essentially 22 starters on a football team? Oregon reportedly pays 34 players at least $500,000. 34 players on their roster, at least $500,000. Ooh.
That is that's essentially a fourth of their team. You think it was like 120? Usually it's like 105.
Yeah.
On it used to be like 105 scholarship athletes, and then you have about 15 walk-ons, about 120 players total.
Yep.
Crazy.
Essentially, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Miami, programs like that, they're operating on NFL-style payrolls. All right. And that is true. I think at least 500,000, that may be league minimum in the NFL. I know. I see why those guys are trying to get on back to playing some college sports. All right, y'all. Let's move on. Let's get to our main topic of the day. Speaking of the Brinks truck and money, is that money coming to Arkansas? Can we compete with this? Right now, it doesn't look like it, but Hunter Yurachek says, hold on now. I've been working on something. Now we're going to decide if this thing is going to go all the way through and make an impact or not. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Get to our first drive of the day, brought to you by our friends at Southwest Auto in Arkadelphia. I wonder if they can get a Brinks truck and drive that thing up to Northwest Arkansas. That's what we need. Need more money. Something, all right? All they got to do is head to iDrive SWA and see if it's available. If not, they got a lot of other different options as well. Once again, Tires for Life program for any new vehicle. No payments, 90 days, trying to help you out if you need a car, not now. But what did we say, Chris Caver? Right now. You can make sure you don't have to worry about those payments for at least 90 days. Once again, head on over to iDriveSWA.com. And once again, if you're not in Arkadelphia, it doesn't matter. You find something you like on that website, they will bring the car to you. All right, here we go. More money is on the way for the University of Arkansas. Ryan Silverfield on his tour. And I believe Hunter Yurachek tagged along, at least for the stop there in Texas at the Star in Frisco. He spoke to the media, and he started talking about naming rights are on the way for the University of Arkansas. So hopefully by noon, not noon. Wow, why did I say noon? Hopefully by June, we will know the name of what Razorback Stadium will be. It was Donald W. Reynolds Foundation, actually, stadium. That deal went up, and so we've been kind of asking about this for a long time because that's a lot of money on the table. And so we're expecting to hear that in June, all right? Along with that, he talked about new partnerships going on with TV rights and TV deals that could bring into about $500 million. Now, I know that sounds exciting. Now, to get into the details, this deal that he's trying to strike with the potential new Learfield is going to be a 10 to 12-year deal. So you're looking at about $50 million per year towards the university. Now, they already have a deal going on. So this is where it gets interesting. And I think this is where words matter. When he gets up there and he says, $500 million deal, we're thinking, whoa, that's going to jump us up to the top immediately. All right. It's spread out over time, $50 million per year. Now, they already have a deal in place that is generating revenue. So whatever that number is right now, minus, all right, take 50 million minus what we're already getting, that's the true number. All right. What that number is, I don't know. I tried to figure out what their deal was with Learfield to figure out how much money they're actually going to make this year as far as compared to last year. I would assume that deal per year with Learfield, somewhere in the ballpark of 20-ish, $25 million. Let's just say that for whatever. Let's just even say 30 million a year. Getting $20 more million per year for your athletic department, huge. There goes your offset for revenue sharing. But you got to think what we just went through, fellas, of what now it's going to take to pay guys to be competitive, at least at the national level. You need every single dime of that. Is it sustainable? I guess we're going to have to figure it out. But thoughts on the naming rights and I guess this new marketing deal, is it as big as we think it is, or do you think it's being dressed up to make it look a little bit more prettier than it is?
Well, I mean, probably both. You know, I mean, you're going to try to put as much positive spin on it as you can if you're the athletic department, which I completely understand. And I would say it is overall is positive. If it is, let's just say it's 25 million today and it's going to be 50 million tomorrow, not actually tomorrow, but you know, the next step, then you're double as good, right? And you're talking about these crazy numbers out there for paying these guys. You know, I think this is also where maybe we as a fan base have to step back and realize that we may not be the school that's going to go pay $10 million to a quarterback, right? We're going to have to do more with I hate to say it this way, but do more with less, right?
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the way that it's going to have to be. But I think that for the fan base in this state, they just want to be a competitive football team. And we want to have our name in the hat every few years. And, you know, we know what it's like to not be very good. These other schools right now, the ones that are paying this crazy money, they're having to win today.
Yeah.
Because that's what they've built. Right. And so we've got a little bit of time of, and I don't want to say mediocrity really, but I mean, we've got some time to build this thing up, I think. And so, an extra $25 million a year or $20 million a year or
Huge.
20, 30 million is gigantic.
Yeah.
I mean, it is absolutely massive. And, you know, this isn't just for football. This is for the entire athletic department. So now you're talking about not having a conversation about the tennis program like you had 3 weeks ago.
Allegedly.
So anyway, yeah, is it being built up? Sure, but it is a big deal. So I'm, you know, the more money you can get, the better at this point.
Different tune for Hunter Yurachek, because this comes from a place where you got to think this time last year, maybe a little bit further ahead than where we are this time last year. You know, he gets up in front of the whole state, essentially, when at the touchdown club saying this team is not set up to win, you know. Different tone nowadays of learning from what to say in front of a microphone of $500 million coming our way. Hey, we're about to get a new name on the stadium, generating millions of dollars. What that looks like, we don't know. Very curious to see who that name sponsor is. But, you know, do you think he's starting to pick up a little bit more in the situational awareness of saying, maybe I need to start telling these fans what they want to hear? Is this what this is, or is it just simply the truth?
Well, I think that it's something that you're saying this in the only way you should ever say it, right? There's no other way to say this. You need to toot the horn that we've gotten this potentially $500 million deal. That needs to be said. It needs to draw attention to our university that we take sports serious here. We take football serious here. That needs to be preached from the mountaintop for recruiting, for marketing purposes, for the way that people perceive and look at Arkansas. We got to change the tune on that, because the tune has been, I mean, we just can't compete in the SEC. I don't know. You know, we got to have a plan. We got to announce that plan, and we got to celebrate these wins like that. And so I'm glad that he's saying that. Now, you guys had a really good point. What's the current deal that they have versus what this deal now is, because that difference is going to kind of be where we have that extra pocket change floating around to do a little bit more with the program. But I think it's pretty clear that this is a step up from the naming rights deal and the just the amount of money that they have on a 10-year projection over the past 10 years. I think it was less. Now we're planning on more. But I think what this really does is it allows a little bit of pressure on Coach Silverfield to perform. I think that's for sure. Like, now you've got to say, well, hey, I'm coaching at a school that takes this serious, and now I got to put a product on the field, because now you've got a lot of sponsors and a lot of money coming in who have paid good money to be on television. They paid good money to be showing up in that stadium, and you've got to put a good product on the field, so at least they get good TV times. Primetime television goes a long way when you want people to spend more money next year. So that's a huge thing. Now we have to have a very good product.
Yeah.
But it's also helpful for Silverfield too, for recruiting purposes, to be able to say, look, we take it serious here. We're building something.
So getting into what you just said about how much pressure is on Coach Silverfield, that's actually our next topic. We're about to talk about that. You also brought up, I see people in the chat talking about, Grant, I think you did, does this help with the tennis program? We're going to talk about that as well. With all this money coming in, we're going to talk about the future of the tennis program and our blitz, because I got a very good question when it comes to who is actually responsible to make sure that the tennis team stays at the University of Arkansas. Also in the chat, what have I missed over here? Is my sister getting into it with somebody right now? I've been vaguely kind of keeping up. I saw, is Valerie beefing with somebody this morning? What did I miss?
She said she's not beefing.
She said she's
That's
not
all
beefing?
I saw. That's all I saw. I saw somebody say, "Get him, Val."
Yeah,
I'm like,
I saw that too.
No.
You always send a smile to my heart.
It's way up above that somewhere. I don't even know.
All right, y'all have fun over there in the chat. Keep it respectful, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Valerie, I guess you're assuming stand down. Whew. So 325 DSK and Valerie, I guess, have been going back and forth. Oh, Lord.
Boy.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and look at that. We ain't got time to unpack that.
We ain't got time to unpack it. Well, we'll do that a little bit later. All right, y'all, let's get to that topic I was talking about, Josh, the pressure for Coach Ryan Silverfield. Where's it at? I got it high or low, year one. Now, obviously, there's always pressure for a coach to do well, right? We know that. But now with all these things, as far as the money, Hunter Yurachek saying we got this coming in, you got programs starting to be cut. I feel like the University of Arkansas athletic department is not in the best position it's ever been outside of our basketball team. All right. But we all know what spins the wheel over there in Northwest Arkansas, and it's going to be that football team. So with all these things going on, is this just added pressure to our guy Ryan Silverfield, or does he still kind of have that grace period of like, this is new, we're going to build this thing up, give us a little time, or do the results need to happen immediately? Ryan Silverfield sitting back watching all this stuff, saying we got this money coming in, allegedly taking away all the excuses to do well in this sport. He's looking at this like, dang, we better figure it out sooner than later. Thoughts on that,
Josh?
Well, I think it's a daunting task next season. You guys both know LSU's Chad Yos, the fan here from Northwest Arkansas that always just hypes up LSU all the time. And he was going over his schedule and what he thought we should win. And he goes, Josh, have you really just gone through your schedule? Let me get your take. And I said, well, let me get your take. And he said, well, North Alabama, you can get that one. Maybe you get Utah. It's going to be tough. But then you've got Georgia, and that's an L. Tulsa, you can get that one maybe. But then Texas A&M is an L. Tennessee's an L. Vanderbilt's an L. He went all the way down through our list, and he said, dude, you're going through a gauntlet next year, and you're going to get 2 wins at worst. And if Coach Silverfield really can do a good job, I think you could get 5 or 6. But that's the best case scenario. So then I'm putting into this conversation because he just came away, basically raining on my parade all day yesterday. Well, you look at the amount of money that, we've just brought in and what Ryan Silverfield has to do against a tough schedule. I think that the pressure's on, but I think that Arkansas fans are probably going to give him a little break if he doesn't go out and get 8 wins. But you got to put a serious product on the field so that people still go, all right, we're moving in the right direction and we've got all this money coming in. What's year 2 look like?
Maybe I should have added to this graphic, maybe Hunter Yurachek right next to him with like pray hands. Maybe is that where more of this is directed? Do you think Hunter Yurachek's like, whew, I really hope Ryan does well, because if not, then is he potentially? I know a lot of fans have been saying fire, fire, fire. And I will say this. We don't try to get into that world. We don't try to fire people here on 4th and 5. And we also do believe there's a whole bunch of other things that go on that we are unaware of. We just also know some things look like a bad look, but we don't know all the details. We don't know the decision making and who all has a hand in this. However, if this doesn't work when it comes to Coach Ryan Silverfield, and I hope that's not the case, and I think it will take time, but I'm just specifically talking about year one. Let's just say if it's a 4 to 5 win season, is Hunter Yurachek kind of like, whew, I'm really feeling it now?
I mean, maybe. I think to Josh's point, right now you're just hoping that you have some positive progress. And I don't know that, we're out there like, now there's always going to be fans that say, oh, 8 to 10 wins or it's a bust. It's like, well, let's take a step back. We got to build some stuff. We're laying a foundation here. But I think you do have to come out of this season knowing that there is a solid foundation that's been built. We talked about it several times in the last couple of months where, I think DJ, you said, hey, you win a few of the games that you maybe you're supposed to win, quote unquote, but you're competitive in a lot of the other ones.
Correct.
Right. And for me, I think that if that's the case coming out of this next season, where it's like, wait, we were in some games. We just got to figure out a couple of more horses to run that race. Right. And maybe we got to pick and part and do this a little bit different coming into next year. And we feel like we have a really positive trajectory. I think that's what you want to come out of this season with. And of course, we've got this money generating, all these kind of things, but 4 or 5 wins, I think it depends on how those 4 or 5 wins look, right, who they're against, and what the other, 7 to 8 games that you lost look like. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that to just say that 4 or 5 wins and now everybody is over there sweating in the Brule Center. I don't know that that's necessarily true.
Yeah. I mean, the perfect example I would be is last year, 2 wins, right?
Yeah.
Outside of 2 games last year, every single game, it looked like we could compete with the best teams in the country. Outside of 2, Notre Dame and who else just whooped us? I can't remember what the other team was.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M ran off on it in the end, didn't they?
Nah, we were right there with Texas A&M till the very end.
Yeah, very end.
Took it off.
I'm sure our chap will let us know.
Auburn.
I can't remember.
Well, we were beating Auburn.
Auburn, and then we threw 3 picks back to back. It's tough, but the team that was fielded out there, you could see, was super competitive. Now, you can't have that in your 5th year as a head coach. That's more year 1 type stuff, of not being able to close out and finish the games, maturity of a football team, culture of a program. Those are the things that we saw. We're a little worried about that within year 5. And so obviously there was a whole lot going on that year. Coach being fired. Is Coach Petrino going to be back or not? Yeah. We don't know. So once again, we're going to sit back and see how all this plays out. Can't wait to see the naming rights. Who's going to have that for the University of Arkansas when it comes to the stadium? I'm assuming whatever it is, you may see a big logo up on the building now, because especially if it's not like a specific individual. Who knows? Walmart, are they going to finally come to the table? You're going to see a big old Walmart sign on the side of the building. Tyson, they already putting a patch on the jerseys. Very curious to see how they're going to do that. All right, y'all, let's get on to our competition round for today. Even though I think everything's good in the chat. All right, so Val says, at whoever, it's all good, I promise. I have tough skin. Jeez. If you go to Home Depot, let me know. I need to replace some. What is happening?
What's going on?
What's happening in the chat right now?
DIY projects now. Come on.
All right, y'all. Line it up. Who do you want to represent you today in the Blitz? We got a few topics to talk about. Also, today is actually National Streaming Day. All right. So I'm going to ask these two. When it comes to streaming a show, I kind of capped it at show. I'm potentially going to open it up to movies as well. If there's like a series of movies, if you could rewatch something for the first time, like experience that first time of watching this show or series, whatever, what would it be? All right, you get one option. We'll talk about that in the blitz period as well. So who's going to represent who? Let's line that up. But before that happens, let's get it. The Blitz is brought to you by our friends at Ortho, Arkansas. A lot of cool things coming up. We're about to partner with Ortho, Arkansas, that is, especially when it comes to little high school football. I'm on the track to get out there, y'all. 7-on-7's about to get geared up and ready to roll, and we are going to be there, partnered with Ortho, Arkansas. Obviously, when it comes to high school athletics, when they have their trainers out there, they took care of CAC back in the day in multiple schools around the state. So once again, anything that happens out there, hamstring being pulled, Josh knows all about that. You need some orthopedic care. Ortho Arkansas is your place to be. 10 locations across the state. All you have to do is find more information at orthoarkansas.com. And once you're there, you're also going to see they got extended urgent care hours as well. So you get hurt any time of the day, hit my people up, and they'll take care of you. All right. Who is playing for who? Have we been paying attention? Anybody been looking?
I can't see in the thing, in the chat.
You can't see anything? All right, do I need to
scroll? I just can't see names.
Okay. I see.
Do you have a list of the people that have won already?
Dennis Mitchell and Eric Walther.
Eric won.
Mm-hmm. Alyssa represented Eric yesterday.
I mean, like overall, like Miss Donna won, and
we've only given away 2 Friday packs. So Chris Caver and Donna.
All right, I'm playing for Taylor Roush.
All right, let's go, Taylor.
He was the first one in.
Josh?
Who do I need to play for? I can't see my chat right now.
Okay, here we go.
Hey man. It said, I mean, Jim was the first one. Let's see here.
Audrey's back.
Yeah, what's up, Audrey? Welcome back.
Audrey, it is. Celebrate the fact that she's back. She's okay.
I saw Jim post on Facebook the other day. Where's that at again? What's that place over there in Whitehall?
He tagged me in it.
Yeah.
Golden Corral, baby.
No, it's not Golden Corral.
Hear about that?
Is it Colton's? Western Sizzler?
Maybe it's Colton.
Jim, what's that place over there in Whitehall? You have the jerseys hung up. Wherever it is, Jim, we're gonna get out there. We have to go. Jim, if you can set us up, I'm not sure when their doors open. I want to do a live show from there. All right, let's get this. Could you imagine? And
Let's
Jim,
do it.
and if that's the case, then Jim, you're going to be our special guest, and you're going to be there as well. I know you got the pool over there, Jim Gum. Let's see if we can make that happen. Colton's, I knew it. Colton's over there in Whitehall. All right, y'all. First topic. We know who we're playing for. Tennis team. All right. We talked about it before. So details came out about what it's going to take to keep this thing going. All right. $50 million endowment is needed to keep the tennis program going. All right. So will tennis get what it's need? Will they get what they need to stick around? Now, so why $50 million? They want to collect about 5% interest off of that $50 million to get around $2.5 million per year to take care of the tennis program. I am unaware of any other program at the University of Arkansas's athletic department that has to do this to stick around. All right. So they're asking a lot from their donors to make sure that the program stays. Whose responsibility should this be? Should Hunter Yurachek say this is what needs to happen to keep it going? Or does the university need to figure out a way to where you don't not asking your fans to raise $50 million to make sure that a program sticks around, and that's the only way? So that is the topic of conversation. Josh, you're on the clock first, and your time starts now.
Well, I think number one, it's smart for donors, fans of the tennis program to pull together and do this so that no matter who the athletic director is, no matter what the situations that you face end up being, you've secured this program in the history of Arkansas that comes along with it right here in Fayetteville. That's number one. I think that's super important. Now, I think that the pressure is on Yurachek as the leader to come up with this and to really push for this. Like, it's not just good enough to say, okay, well, it's on you guys now. If y'all want it, keep it. That's not what a leader is supposed to do. A leader's supposed to lead the charge and figure out who these people are and solidify and build these bridges to sustain this program and get behind it.
All right, Grant, you're on the clock. Your time starts now.
Man, y'all ever seen Old School when Will Ferrell blacks out and he gives the answer?
Yeah.
And is it James Carville?
Yes.
When he's like, I have no rebuttal. That was a Perfect answer.
Yeah. Is that where you are?
I completely agree with Josh.
Completely agree. All right.
I do. I mean, I'm not even going to try to argue the same point because that's. I'll save everybody 20 seconds.
All right, fair enough.
Great job, Josh. That was a great answer.
Thank you.
Good job, Josh. Nice. Josh takes a 1-point lead. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting how, for me, that's the only program that's being asked to do this to stick around.
Yeah, and I think it's on everybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on the fans. They got to come up with the cap. I mean, if you know what I'm saying, like it's not just like it's not one person's responsibility, and I think that's kind of what Josh was saying.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too,
The one group's responsibility.
They're not even close to the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the teams that lose the most money.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they're probably like, dang.
I still think there's more to that story.
Yeah, you still think there's a little more?
It just, I don't know. And maybe, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I think Jim May responded. We'll figure that out. He says, that'd be great. Jim, yeah, let's make that happen. All right, here we go. Josh is up 1. Second topic. Already kind of set it up. Today, National Streaming Day. All right, so I couldn't tell you how many times I've sat back and said, man, I wish I could experience that for the first time again. Me personally, it's in the movie world. If I could go back in time to when Iron Man was released, the original, and experience that decade of that led up to the last in Endgame with Infinity War, the Avengers Endgame, that span of movies, I would do anything to experience that for the first time again. I mean, it's like 20 plus movies. But that's movies. As far as streaming is concerned, as far as a show, man, that was a tough one to come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and send it over to y'all. Grant, you're on the clock first, experiencing it for the first time. What do we got?
Well, I had 2 when you sent this out. I was like, had 2 that came to mind, and the 2 were Ted Lasso.
Oh, so good.
And Peaky Blinders.
Oh, so good.
I know, and it's like, how do you pick? But I think what I'm going to pick is, is Ted Lasso. And the reason I'm going to pick that is it has like all the ranges of emotion. You know, like Peaky Blinders is a little dark. It's, you know, it's
a little.
You know, it's not like there is no real feel good moments in that show. And Ted Lasso, man, when you watch that, I feel like you're just invigorated as a human. Like you're like, man, Ted Lasso is the guy. And I'm going Ted Lasso.
Okay, Ted Lasso, great one. They're actually coming back with another season, so it's not done yet. You got a little bit. He's going back coaching women's team this time. All right. All right, Josh, you're on the clock. Your time starts now.
Man, fellas, if I could go back and watch any show, and like my memory's gone, I don't remember the ending of it. I get to watch it fresh all over again. Man, the ending ruined it. But I had so much fun watching it with you, DJ. It was Game of Thrones.
So good.
You put me on Game of Thrones after everybody had been talking about it for a while. DJ said, Josh, you ain't seen season 1? You haven't watched this yet? Oh. We probably spent a summer him narrating. We'd press pause. He'd give me the background. It was the best show. I felt like I was reading a book, and I don't even really read a lot of books. This was a fantastic show, but the ending just completely ruined it all for me. So if I could go back and just feel the feelings again of each episode coming at you, I'd go Game of Thrones. Awesome movie. Awesome show.
You got to be careful, man. Some people may have not watched it. You can't talk about
I would say, all right, what's the statute of limitations? I don't know if I'm saying that right, of being able to spoil a movie. Like, if it's been 10 years, is that okay? But you didn't even say how it ended. You know what I mean?
Here's one thing, though. That when Josh talks about these and argues a lot of these points, he tries to bring you into it emotionally.
Yeah, you're right.
No, it's just.
Do you remember this memory of us sitting together and watching it? Like, you can't do that, dude.
Listen, hold on.
DJ, you remember that one time we went to this restaurant and you ate the onion rings and they were so crispy and crunchy. And DJ, remember, I'm picking onion rings instead of French fries because you love onion rings. Not even what I actually love.
No, Grant.
Bro. That's what you do.
Hold on.
So, DJ, I did bring them into it. Emotional. I need you to strike the emotional and just go straight TV show. That's what I need.
About, man. There's a lot of love, living, and laughter involved in life. You can't strike that from an argument. Now, what I'll say is, if you've ever seen, now this doesn't count for my point, DJ. This doesn't count for my point. But I've watched a lot of these shows that have backgrounds to it that need to be explained. DJ will pause the show, stand up, and give you a walk and talk so you thoroughly understand the characters, the background.
You're doing it right now.
I'm just telling you. But that's what made the show for me, because I was like, all right, hold on. So who is this? Why is he beefing with this guy? And he'd be like, all right, hold on, let me press pause. And he'd break it all down. So I was able to stay into the show. So it's a genuine, this is a genuine answer.
He's doing the thing lawyers do that they know they're going to get like whatever the word is, but the jury already heard it. The judge looks over and goes, strike that.
Oh yeah.
You can't use that. And they're like, well, I already heard it. I can't unhear this. I mean,
I never understood that. Like, what are you gonna? You need it to erase from my memory. Like, I'm not gonna take it into.
He used the knife.
Disregard those statements.
You can't use that. And I'm like, what? Now I know you used the knife. I can't. Like, how am I supposed to unremember that?
You got to start from scratch, a whole new jury. That's the only way.
Anyway, too bad you're the host of the show. We can't scratch you from the show. So
I gave the point to Josh.
A great show.
Imagine that. You wait till my answers, dude. All right.
Oh, you're gonna switch it up?
Oh, my answers are about to be just memory lanes, dude.
Man, I'm reading some good ones. Legend 86, we could be best friends. First time watching Dragon Ball Z. Now, for me as a kid growing up, specifically when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time when he was fighting Frieza, that was big time memory for me. And then when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 while fighting Cell after Goku gave him some Sensu beams. All right, I'm done being a nerd. All right. We got birthdays coming up. Got opportunities for 6 points on the board. It's fun. Either one of those, going back for the first time, I think would be good. The thing with Ted Lasso, it's not done yet. That's I was taking emotion out, so you still get more. Some of these other ones, they're done. Lord of the Rings. If I were to go to movies as well, Lord of the Rings, watching that for the first time would be cool as well. All right,
House of Dragons. You can watch Lord of the Rings again. Same thing.
All right, let's get into it. Birthdays. Where is it at? Birthdays.
Here comes the comeback, everybody. Get ready.
Oh, lock it in. All right. It's not a big birthday there. I only got 3, and I got 2 audio clues. All right.
Okay.
You want to start with the audio clue or end with audio clue?
Don't matter. Let's end with them.
We got 2, so let's start and finish with them. All right.
All right. Let's do it.
First one up. I didn't know this person, but when I said the name, Ebony said, "Oh my gosh, yes, I know exactly who that is." She said,
help.
She said, Sydney will for sure know who that is. So by default, Josh should know because he's probably heard it. And she said, Grant will definitely know who this is. All right. So I don't know what that means. I guess we'll get into it. Celebrating a birthday today. First one to name this artist. Here we go.
Is that Rodney Carrington?
Nope.
I mean, I know the song.
You do?
Greg Morgan?
Nope. I kind of like the vibe.
I do like the vibe.
Hey.
I don't know this.
All right. I don't know what other clue to give you because I don't know this person. This is John Party. Am I saying that right?
Oh, Party.
Yeah,
John Party.
John Party.
Never heard of him, but I heard that song before. And I like it.
Not me. Ebony said that would have been it. She said y'all would have got it. Guess she was wrong. All right.
I knew the song for sure.
How old is John Party? Is that how you say it?
Party.
How old is John Party today? Grant, I'll start with you.
John Party is 50 years old.
Josh?
Hey, he's 53.
He is 41. Here we go. Comeback starting.
My bad, John.
Yeah, I know. But there's some respect on that name, right? You aged him big time. All right, next up. Celebrating a birthday today. A lot of, first of all, this fact, talk about this graduating class, right? I need to see a yearbook. This rapper went to high school with Jay-Z, DMX, and the Notorious B.I.G. I was like, what?
Oh,
they all went to high school together? How wild is that? So obviously from New York. He has a lot of hit songs.
50 Cent?
This is a rapper, but he's probably most known, I would say from some people, from his feature on a Chris Brown song, where his verse is potentially one of the most...
Busta Rhymes?
Busta Rhymes. There it is, Busta Rhymes. Yeah, you know how many people try to memorize that thing? See who's got skills.
What was that called? Like yellow or
hold on, little breezy. Let me show you how it's done, or something like that.
Yeah.
What was that? Look at me
These
now.
guys, all those guys went to high school together.
That's wild, right?
Could you imagine
the
lunch?
same high school?
Ooh, yeah, that's what it says.
Somebody with a little pen on the desk
at
and
the lunch table.
lunchtime?
Oh man,
that is wild, man.
I'd pay money to see that all go down. Jay-Z, DMX, and Notorious B.I.G.
And
Wow.
He
Busta
went to
Rhymes?
high school with. Now, I don't know if they all went to the same high school or he actually went to school with them, but on my notes, that's what it says. What a
All right.
class, right? Talent. How old is Busta Rhymes today, Josh?
He is 54 years old.
2 points on the board.
I
Wow.
was gonna say.
Oh,
50.
really? Wow.
Yeah, wow, right on the money.
Heck yeah.
All right,
Heck
we got
yeah.
one left. Grant, you need both of these. Audio
All right.
clue.
I mean, that was luck. That was luck, Grant. Don't go
I
back
know.
to the cheating thing.
Audio clue. Last one.
All right, let's do it.
I think Josh does have a potential shot at this one. It may take a little bit. Let's get into it. Here we go. Name this artist celebrating a birthday today.
Cher. Oh, I almost said Claire. I don't know why I did it too early.
Cher.
Do you
I know
believe
this
in
song.
life after love?
Celebrating
I know
a
this
birthday
song, man.
today. Oh, man. It comes down to
It's
this.
just too early. I know Cher. I was thinking Cher. I was about to say Claire. I'm like, why am I saying Claire? What's her name? It's just too early.
Breakthrough. I need a tiebreaker.
Dude, Cher had a lot of hits. That's what we need to have a little.
Wait, do
Just set
I
up a Wednesday night viewer comments and hit them with some Cher.
actually think I might have a tiebreaker just in case we need it. All right, but let's get it. All right, Cher, celebrating a birthday. Grant, it's on you. If you hit this on, you walk it off. How old is Cher today?
73.
Josh,
She is 67.
she is 80 years old today.
Wow.
Woo.
I knew she was up there.
Granny Annie's age?
Cher, man. I think she's dating like a 40-year-old too. Young buck.
Cher. Wow.
Not a girl.
80? Man, that makes me feel so old.
Does it?
Yeah.
Cher's 80.
Yeah, because it's like Cher was putting out hits in the early 2000s.
Oh man, I thought I had a math question. I'm just looking for it. Oh, is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it.
All right, what do you got?
There we go. I'm just gonna put it up. First to answer this correct. Good luck. All right, tiebreaker. What we got, fellas? Solve for Y.
Oh my gosh, what's going on here?
Solve for Y. What do we got, fellas?
6.
Wait, what?
6.
Okay. I actually didn't even put the answer on this. I put the way to get there. This is how you get there. Subtract 2Y from both sides.
Oh, hold on now.
Hold on. 2Y. Go back to the first one. I don't know. I don't even know the answer.
How you gonna put this as a tiebreaker?
I minus 2Y.
One minute.
plus
God,
6
listen, when I was in
equals 14.
elementary, when they started putting the alphabet in the math problems, me and my dad had some issues
Wait,
at the dinner
that's-
table, man.
That's 4, right? 2Y plus 6 equals 14. That'd be 2, 4, 8.
I think you got to take the
God.
6 off of it, 8, and then maybe it's 4.
4.
Yeah, carry the one, carry the
Man,
Y over,
hey.
get rid of it.
Well, you can't carry the Y, man. You got to divide by 2, I think. You
Oh
gotta divide by
God, I don't
divide
know
both
the
sides by
answer.
No, you got to divide by -4, get rid of it.
Oh, this is not our
We're try-
best.
Hey,
Why's 4?
you need to ask a different question.
Y equals 4.
Jim Gum says 4. I think it's 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 4.
Josh, did you say 4? Grant, you said
Yeah.
6.
I said 6, but then
No,
I
you
said
you
4
start
before
by you got to start by getting rid of one Y on one side, and so you would subtract 2Y, carry it over to the 4Y, get rid of it. Now you've got 2Y. Now you start working your way back through it.
Note to self: write down the answer next time. Don't try to remember it.
Oh my gosh.
Josh, congratulations for winning. I think you won math right there. Audrey, your name is going in the hat. All right. So you will be up for a drawing come Friday. Donna says we're hilarious. Hey, we're not math specialists by any means. Let's wrap this thing up. Don't forget, we got viewer comments tonight. So if y'all want to hang out tonight, any question you got, all you got to do is send it in, ask. You can call, be a part of the show. We just sit back for about 30, 45 minutes and just connect with the viewers. And so hop on tonight. That'll be around 7 o'clock. And we'll have a good time out. And I also tease what's coming up the next day on 4th and 5, the morning huddle as well. All right, we're about to wrap this thing up. Yeah, sorry, y'all. We were athletes. I don't know what you want to say. Not mathletes by any means. Grant, welcome back. Good to have you back. Josh, thanks for hanging out with us today. And we'll all be back tomorrow, I'm assuming, unless something pops up. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate y'all watching 4th and 5. Best way to support this channel is to share it with your friends. Hit the like button and leave comments. All are very much appreciated. Y'all have a great day. I'm DJ Williams. That's Josh Sloan and Grant Cook. You're watching 4th and 5, the morning huddle.